Welcome to part 2 of exporting from Revit MEP to eQUEST. In the part 1 we created geometry and spaces and zones, and in this part we'll be exporting to GBXML and importing into eQUEST. So we'll start by editing the space and zone data. So we can select a space and scroll down in the Properties tab to the Energy Analysis data. So we could select a space type, and we have a list of default space types that have associated parameters and different values. We can also edit the defaults from those by changing the drop down from default to specified and then editing the data within there. And we can also zoom in and select one of the zones and scroll down similarly to the energy analysis data, and we can edit cooling and heating information and also outdoor air data. The reason we can select the zone by zooming in is that the zone extends to the middle of the wall while the space only extends to the inside of the wall. So the other thing we can do is go to the Analyze tab and click on the Energy Analysis button, and this is energy analysis data for the entire building. So we can select a building type and change the location. You can see that it's linked to Google Maps there. And we'll select the HVAC system type. In this case, we have a constant volume system. You can also select the infiltration class and change the sliver tolerance. You should never set the sliver tolerance lower than 12 inches. So we'll save our Revit project and get ready to export to eQUEST. So in order to export, we'll click on the Revit button and select Export GBXML. And the default settings here will work for us, so we'll just click Next and choose a directory to which to save the XML file. Once the file is saved, we'll close out of Revit and open our Green Building Studio account on the web. So you have to create a new project, give your project a name, select a building type and a facility operation schedule, and go through all the steps. Once you've gone through all the steps, you can close out of Green Building Studio on the web and open the GBS desktop app. So you'll have to re-sign in, and you'll see your new project pop up. Click on Browse GBXML file, select the XML file you exported, and click on Create New Run. That will automatically load your data into GBS on the web, and it will run through its simulations. And you can go to the Export and Download Data files and download the DO2 file. So you can save the DO2 file into your eQUEST project file folder, and it will save as an input file that you can load within eQUEST. So the other thing that you will need to do is download the weather file in a .bin format, and you'll have to save that in the eQUEST data directory under the weather folder, because that is the only place that you can load weather data into eQUEST from. So now we'll switch over to eQUEST and select an existing building project to open. We'll navigate to the folder and select our input file to load. You'll have to make sure that the file extension filter is set to DO 2.2 BDL input files and not to the PD2 files, because we saved this file as an INP. So we can open that, and now we'll have to select the weather data from the weather folder to which we saved the bin file. Once we open that, click on OK. eQuest will load it, and we can check the 3D geometry to make sure that it looks like the building that we drew in Revit. One thing that you should definitely check is that your floor imported properly. If it doesn't show a floor, then you did not change your floor type to exterior, and that is why it didn't import. And that concludes the tutorial on how to export from Revit MEP to eQUEST.